From McFarlane Toys and their new Batman Adventures line, this is Killer Croc and Baby Doll, specifically how these two appeared in the new Batman Adventures, Season 4 of the cartoon, when they had Nightwing and Tim Drake running around. I'm not gonna lie, this has always been my preferred look for Killer Croc from the show. I do prefer Baby Doll's earlier appearances, but still, with two of my favorite characters from the show, I'm actually really excited to see how they look, because a lot of my issues with this line has been the fact that they are all so small and so brittle. Killer Croc is massive, so hopefully he'll feel okay. Just like with Batgirl and Two-Face, you get a reproduction animation cell for Killer Croc and Baby Doll. This looks terrible. That's not even a good cell. That just, like, what is she looking at? And then he is all fuzzy? It looks like a bad snapshot from when you were trying to, like, rip it off YouTube. And then on the back, it's from Love is a Croc. Wow, who could have guessed? And then there's a synopsis, air date, yada yada yada. Someone's gonna care about this, I don't. What is this? A good-sized figure? Joints that actually feel alright? Paint that looks good throughout? Accessories that are good? Not 30 hands that are all useless? What do you know? It turns out they can do a good figure that's not Mr. Freeze. It is Killer Croc, the clear winner of this wave for me, and in all honesty, aside from Comic King and Mr. Freeze, might be the winner of the entire toy line by sheer virtue of I got him for 25 bucks, and for once, I'm not sitting here saying, God damn, I got swindled. This feels like a $25 figure. It feels like a $30 figure. It's a good Killer Croc. And keep this in mind, you actually get a second character with this. Granted, they have issues, but that's an accessory. That's a good accessory. Let's talk about Killer Croc, and then we'll get into Baby Doll and the rest of the gimmicks and gizmos you get with him. The first thing I'll say is Killer Croc looks amazing. The head sculpt is just perfect. Keep in mind, you have to be into the New Adventures Killer Croc. Of course, in Batman the Animated Series proper, he looked very different. He was a white crocodile, and he had a much more monstrous face, but I still really like this version of Croc. I think this looks really, really good. Alongside that, you got a lot of decent articulation to work with. So, you have a ball joint at the head. It works. You can go that far down, that far up. Alongside that, you have an ab crunch. So you can have a Killer Croc saying straight up. I put him with the hunch because that's more accurate to him. But you can go down even further. Go as far as that. And in terms of going back up, I mean, look at that. He can limbo. So that's good. He has a universal at the shoulder that works incredibly well. The elbow, bit rough. That's kind of the hallmark of this line, is the elbows just don't work. But then you have a universal at the wrist. You have a swivel actually at the ab crunch. Nothing down here in the waist. DC Universe Classics hips, they work. Nothing in the knees. And then you have swivel at the foot, back and forth. I'm sure the knees could get on people's mind, bother them. But I think it works for Killer Croc, because one, he's supposed to walk with a bit of a hunch, with a bit of a limp. So I don't mind that his elbows don't work, because the reality is, with how top-heavy this figure is, those knees would give out pretty quickly. I think that this was actually a pretty smart decision, especially since they compensated for it by giving you so much motion within the ab crunch. It works. But of course, you got a second character in this, which is Baby Doll. Baby Doll, the design looks fine, but it just doesn't really work as a figure. You have a swivel at the head, swivel at the shoulders, swivel at the hips. The figure can't stand, they can't sit, they're a little too top heavy. But keep in mind, in this line, we're always going to have a display stand. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Boop. And then, let me raise up the arms. I'm going to try to put it around her body. There we go. Can I get this lower? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so see? Now Baby Doll can stand perfectly fine. I gave them the display stand because Killer Croc doesn't need it. Wonderful. Alongside these two, we get more accessories. So, Killer Croc has two hands, both of them being a bit more closed. Alongside that, we have a bottle for Baby Doll, because even though Baby Doll is a grown adult woman, a part of it is they still think they're a child. So here, I actually want to see. Oh yeah, you can totally get him holding the... I like that. And then you just get a full-ass turkey, because, you know, Killer Croc, he likes turkey. I don't know, man. It's here. For me, this is the best figures from the New Adventures line. These might be the best figures that McFarlane has done in the animated style. They are spectacular. You get two great characters. They both work for what they are, and they're just better than the rest of the figures in this line. I adore them. I think that they are wonderful. Could there have been improvements made? Sure. But with the low bar I'm having to set for this line, I would take anything. These two work. You gotta give them that.